Hi, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how I made this bottle tag. Okay, so to start I was starting with a piece of cardstock that I had cut at, it's 3 wide by 11 long, and I had taken my 2.5 inch circle punch from Stampin' Up, and I went in here and I simply just punched a hole. I also at the top of the tag had figured out how much I wanted to hang over on the top of the bottle, and I came down, that was probably about 3.5 inches right there that I actually put my crease to make my holder at the top of my bottle. Okay, the next thing I did is I have this adorable Cuttlebug embossing folder. It's called Winter House, and I love this image. I tend to use this year after year on different projects. And I took a piece of vellum, and I know this is, or not vellum, I'm sorry, a piece of transparency. I can't talk this morning. And I actually embossed the image. I don't know if you can see that, but the image is embossed on this transparency, and it is just gorgeous. So that also measured 3 wide, and I just ran it through the folder, and what I wanted to do is kind of figure out where I want to place that on my tag, so that way I can get most of the image in there. And then what I've done on top of that is I've cut another piece of the transparency film, and that's also at 3. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere the 2 pieces onto my project. So just taking some really strong adhesive, some sticky strip, whatever you may have, I'm going to go ahead and attach my first transparency on there. And I want to make sure that it goes around this entire circle. And I want to keep the adhesive really close on that circle. And there's a reason why I'm doing that. And that is so that when I go to put my image on, and I'm going to lay this down so I can line this up, but when I go to put my image on, I want to make sure that that image is going to stick right in there. And it's going to be tight against that circle, like so. And then I can lift it up, and I can see that I like that. And then I can just go ahead and I can trim off all these extra edges that I have on here. And I can do the same thing on the back and just kind of go in there and trim that off. And then with some more adhesive, I'm just going to go in there and just adhere that down too, just to make sure that that's stuck all the way down, like so. Okay, now I have that down and it's tight and it's against my circle. The next thing I wanted to do was go ahead and put in a little bit of glitter. Okay, but before I put my glitter in, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go around my edges here with my adhesive and make sure that I cover it all the way around. And then I'm also going to go down further with my adhesive. I pretty much want to get adhesive everywhere except for on that image. Okay, so I've got all of my adhesive on there. I'm going to take just a little bit of glitter, and I'm going to try and keep that right in the center. And then I'm going to take my second transparency sheet, making sure that it's clean when I go to lay it down. And I'm just going to go ahead and line that up and adhere it down onto my piece. And just go around those edges to make sure that you're sealing that with that glitter in there like that. It's very important. So that way, when you're done, you'll have a little snow card inside on your image. And you can make it snow. Okay, next I had purchased the new Tim Holtz Snow Flurries. I guess this is an edger that they call these. So I'm just simply going to go in here, and I'm going to, now not all of these are going to fit on my tag, so I'm going to go in and pick probably like my bigger snowflakes. I'm going to take some glue, some adhesive, whatever you have handy. I just wanted to hit a couple of those snowflakes lightly, and then I'm just going to take my glitter and I'm going to glitter those up. Just make sure that you coat them pretty good. And then it won't have to be totally covered. It's just enough to give it a little bit of a frosty look. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to figure out where I want to place that on my tag. And again, I'm going to run a little piece of adhesive down here along the bottom. And I'm going to go ahead and place, I'm sorry you can't see that. I'm going to go ahead and place on the bottom and adhere that down. And just taking my scissors, I'm going to go in and trim off any excess that I have. Like so. It's adorable. Okay, next I'm going to use another one of my new dies, and this is going to be the Tim Holtz Alterations Reindeer Flight, and I'm using this reindeer right here, and I cut him out in brown, and I'm just going to go ahead with my ink and go ahead and distress him a little bit. Okay, and then once I distressed him, I ran him through another Cuttlebug embossing folder, and this was my Divine Swirl. Okay, and then I'm simply just taking a little snowflake stamp from one of my older Stampin' Up! Kits, and I'm taking some Brilliant Blue ink, and I'm just going to go in and randomly stamp some snowflakes on my tag. Like so. And I'm going to have one coming off the top there. And so then that way when I put him down, he has a little image kind of behind him too. Okay, once I stamped all those blue images, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to take that same stamp and I'm going to go over the top, and this does not have to match. You just kind of got to get it close. I'm going to go over each of those ones that I stamped with a little white ink to kind of offset that blue. Then I'm just going to take my adhesive and I'm going to apply it to the back of my cutout reindeer. And you could also glue it however, you know, it works for you. And I wanted to place that right above the window. Like so. Okay, and then just simply to finish it off, I'm going to take my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. I'm going to try and find the center by eyeballing it. I'm going to punch my hole in there. And then I'm going to take a piece of my white cardstock and I'm going to punch the same circle. And then I'm going to go back with my 2 3/8 punch and punch a little bit of a border around that. So I get a cute little white circle around the top, and then I can go ahead and adhere that onto. Before I know you probably can't see this, but before I go ahead in and adhere that onto the top, I'm going to just take my adhesive. I'm going to run some adhesive over this real quick. You could do the same thing with some glue. And I'm going to sprinkle just a little bit of my glitter on there, and I'm going to push it down so it's on the adhesive. And what I don't use, I just put back in. And then that way, the top of my ring, when I go to put that down, that also is sparkly and kind of stands out from my project a little bit. And then the final thing would be just to go around with your adhesive and apply some adhesive around the outside of your circle. And then adhere your ring. And just like that, you have this beautiful dressed up tag for your bottles to take to a friend's house.